So Mike was the first golden suit NFT holder at the Suit Club. So I flew him in from Phoenix, Arizona, and here he is.
Flew in last night from Phoenix, made it here to Jacksonville. Today gonna tour Jay Lane, gonna see basically Willy Wonka's chocolate factory today. See how everything works. We're gonna talk builder trend, real estate, construction. Can't wait.
Mike, the first golden suit owner.
That's it, number one.
Of the Suit Club. Why did you buy a golden suit?
I had been following you for years, knowing I would start my construction company. Well, here I am. I'm trying to grow the thing now, fast forward, and need the roadmap. It's growing faster than I thought. You're just the person to help me get there. This Suit Club is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Bought the ticket, bought the suit.
The golden ticket.
That's why I'm here today, behind the scenes.
The golden suit. So you are here behind the scenes in Jacksonville. You're from Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. You have a $1 million company.
Each
and you want to be multi-million. You want to be 7 figures, maybe 8.
Well, look, I'm a humble guy. I've been at this a while.
Yeah.
Architecture's $1 million, construction is $1 million, and it is growing faster than I thought. And once you turn on that water hose, it goes. And so we now are encountering each deal being a 7-figure deal.
I love that.
Right. So now you start thinking about, is it an 8-figure company? Do I have the right staff? Do I have the right systems?
Yeah.
And when we did that intro call, that welcome call after I bought the suit.
Yeah.
You see,
each golden suit owner gets a welcome call.
This will be just like coming to Willy Wonka's. You're going to see the factory, and that's exactly what this has been today. So.
This has been awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, we talked to, this is at the trail end. This is the afternoon. And then you're coming to family dinner tonight. It's going to be so cool. But you've talked to Mark and Ron and John and Jeremy and a little bit of TJ. And man, it's been cool to have you kind of hop around. So the first person we talked to was John Crenshaw, right? And the chief tech officer. Could not run a construction business without a guy like this who can have builder trend and QuickBooks. He does accounting. He does anything tech related. Couldn't run a business without him. So let's check that out.
The technical brain power.
It's what we like, real world experience. I learned construction through being around it. And I mean, tech was my first thing, just figuring that out. Figuring out that stuff so we can make our business run super efficiently.
Notice he said our business because this last year I gave him a percentage of the company.
Bingo.
Yeah, off of the net profit. So it's like, so building out a structure for that with your employees is a really crucial.
We talked about it. It's great.
Exactly. So John was one of those first people. Really, you were the first person.
Yep.
So
on that team.
That's it.
Like the teamwork.
Yeah, because I want him to stick around forever. You know what I'm saying? Because
that dollar investment is your effort investment. I mean, that's great. Builder trend, we are using that. We have a few projects right now in process. My question is, opposed to the cloud, if we're on builder trend, something happens with builder trend, we have legal issues down the road. How do we archive? How do we grab that?
Like a builder trend was the tank. What do you do?
And bring it into our possession.
So that's why we use Google Drive and you're using Dropbox. I mean, those are two great, like consistent, reliable, I would say, cloud-based softwares. I mean, that probably shouldn't go out of business, but we use Google Drive. So one thing to think about is we use Google Drive for our internal stuff, and anything really, not all of it, but most of everything that goes to Builder Trend is client-facing. So internal Google Drive, client-facing, Builder Trend.
So 2 years before I started my construction company, and I'm 2 years in the company now, you gave me the motivation, really. That's what really...
Just via YouTube.
Right. Just
amazing.
Encouraged me to pull the trigger. I had been out of it for a while, 15 years since I had really done construction. You were a guy who was in it. You were using the systems, somebody fresh out there, so I wanted to see how you were doing it, and it really appealed to me.
Yeah.
And, I'm not too prideful a guy to say, hey, I've got a ton of experience, but there's somebody out there that knows some parts of this better than me. They know how it's done in today's world with tech. I had a good conversation with Ron in your office.
Ron's awesome.
Let's
throw it on the screen.
Ronald. Hey, I recognize this guy from the videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how you doing?
Mike is a architect and also a GC.
Contractor, right?
Yeah, out of Phoenix, Arizona. So
wow.
We're 2 years into our company, so I'm wanting to see kind of how Jesse's running things. He's ahead of us on this, and we want to get to where he's at. So building trends, some of these things we're integrating.
When my wife and I moved here, we knew we were going to retire here. This is going to be like in St. Augustine area is going to be where we retire. And when I came down here, I actually interviewed employers more than they actually wanted to interview me, because I wanted to pick the team that I wanted, or the company that I wanted to stay with until I retire.
That's what I'm interested in. My team is happy to be on board with me. I want to keep them long term.
Yeah.
And so that is important to me to hear from you what you like.
So communication is what I like. Processes that were already in place. Jesse had a lot of processes in place. We've developed them even more, but he was already on that track to get that. He already had a whole lot in place.
Everybody buys in, adds, it takes it to the next level.
Right, and then the teamwork, like knowing that like we're all involved together. Nobody's on an island. You know, they're like, hey, go do this, and like don't even ask them if they need help, because in construction things can go, things can get very convoluted. You have big change orders that come up. You have to quote this. You got all of a sudden you got a project that needs some huge, like when we have a project that all of a sudden we realize has to have 31 buildings, 232 apartments, needs sprinkler systems now. Oh, so now that's a whole new process, right? So, but that's really what attracted me to Jay Lane, because another big part of that is that Jesse appreciates what everybody brings to the table. Like, take somebody, let them bring their skills and apply them, and put them in the pile with the team, so everybody is working together toward the same goal.
Systems, teamwork, and bringing those valuable skills from each person.
When you go into Jay Lane Internal, there's this huge menu. General sales, there's just so many sub-menus.
Yeah. This is like the old employee manual that you had in the desk that no one looked at. This is great. It's live, it's tech.
Yes.
And it's updated on everyone's phone. Obviously it's just it's a website.
Print out a new paper, put it in the
print out a
binder.
new paper, put it in the 3-ring binder, run around the job. Everyone come in. I mean, it's like.
But we also have, it's kind of, I want to almost call it an ongoing live document, because we do things on the fly, and the whole team contributes with that. Everybody on the team, doesn't matter who you are. If we take that information, we have a meeting, collaborate, we're like, hey, we have a Monday morning team meeting, whether it's mostly virtual, and if somebody brings it up, we have the IT guy will do stuff on the fly, like we'll suggest it, and we're done. Before we're done the paragraph, it's already done.
John locks it in.
Yeah.
CTO.
Yeah. And I love this, because like even yesterday I did one where it was a document that it was clear, but I wanted to kind of sharpen it up a little bit with what had to be edited. So like I gave it to the IT guy and I said, hey, upload this as a document. It's like a template that we download.
So we create buttons that are downloadable buttons within the Squarespace. Real simple. You can build this website. If you go to Wix or Squarespace or whatever, and you literally just have a button, and you can have a file, like a Word document or an Excel document or anything like that, that you click the button, downloads a fresh copy. So I used to have it, in Google Drive, kind of when I first started, and people would go in and mess up my template, right? So that's why I decided, like, man, there's gotta be a better way. So I'm scouring and I'm looking through, click the button, you add the file, and it just goes boom, a fresh copy. There's always a fresh copy that downloads to your computer. So you can screw it up as much as you want.
So technology is I didn't mention that earlier, but that is actually huge. Like just being able to, like, you're at an office, you work, and you have a vendor or subcontractor says, hey, you know what, I don't have the plans for the bathroom or the upgraded plans for the electrical. Can you bring them to me? Well, in the olden days, you would have somebody like print something, drive to the job, drop them off. You can do a screenshot on your phone, highlight an area, text it away. If they have a question like, where does this receptacle go? Pull the plans, boom, put an arrow on it.
Yeah, so we use like Preview within Mac, and it's all in my Mac course too. It's like how to do all these little things. But I made my Mac course available to all my employees, and Ron already knew most of it, but it's like getting the boxes and the arrows and all these different things. That's just a minimal aspect of it. But then it's like using Google Drive effectively, then it's using Buildertrend effectively to get your subcontractor list organized, click all the check boxes for all the electricians or all the millwork guys or plumbers that you want to send this bid request out to, and it all goes the same way, just boom, to the same guys with the same documents digitally.
So again, on technology, to even go to another level, Buildertrend. Do you use Buildertrend now?
We're using Buildertrend for our third job now. We've used it for almost a year. Well, your video was the first way that I heard about it. Once I heard about it, I looked at a lot of other softwares out there, and this was one of the top tier software packages. And so far, so good.
So Buildertrend has like every call you did, every email, every text message,
any
activity that you had with the client, so then we can pick up where that person.
Another thing that I like about Buildertrend is there wasn't this this curtain that they were behind, hiding from you, not telling you what the price was, not letting you test drive it. Buildertrend was very user friendly.
Yeah.
It's almost like a concierge service. When we had a problem, or a challenge rather, with the payments,
Yeah.
with the schedules, how to do such and such,
Yeah.
they have an expert that jumps on the line.
And you know
with
what's
us.
crazy is they don't pay me a dime. They give Matt Reisinger like 6 figures a year just to talk about Buildertrend. Here I'm doing it
Not
all
endorsed.
for free. I've been on their
Endorsed, but
podcast.
not paid for being endorsed.
It's like ridiculous, but yeah, buy Buildertrend. So one thing we talked about today was that construction should be your main pillar, right, in life. If you're a GC kind of guy, or anything, if you're a business owner, like the business that your main business should be your main source of income. Then you invest in real estate, right? And so what I'm doing is I hired a guy, Jeremy, who you talked to, we'll throw in here in a second, and how I have him managing all of my flip projects. Because if I was flipping and renting and do all this real estate stuff just on my own, which I've done in the past, like years ago, my mind would be just complete, because my mind's already kind of exploding, right? So
That's where my mindset is. You know, I have the design build and want to go into the real estate next, whether that's development, whether that's owning,
some
flipping,
Airbnbs or
holding.
commercial properties maybe.
So it appeals to me. I think Jeremy is a good example of person I might need on board.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of the systems that I built for Jeremy, just for Jeremy, my real estate process, built a whole website. Each piece of tile, anyway, check it out.
Well, we look for properties, good deals, money, or the numbers have to make sense. And so we look at maybe 50 deals and one makes sense. But once we find it, then we'll all go out and visit the property.
Right.
And at that initial visit, when we're actually looking at it, we're looking at the potential that it has, what the potential cost are going to be. And so we actually create a rough budget of our construction cost.
And then we make our
at that
offer
point.
based
Then we
off
make
that.
our offer based off that, and then
Running the ARV, after repair
Some of
value.
I like some of the systems that you've integrated across all the companies. And this
Yeah.
one, you had the finishes all in a package. I mean,
That's it.
starting to streamline and use
Yeah.
systems.
So I built an internal website that has all of our flipping templates. So I have the construction company systems and processes, but I also have the flipping templates, and I have Jeremy use those.
Well, so this is the internal program that Jesse has created that has all of our finishes on it, from exterior paint to interior paint to hardware. I mean, you can
hardware,
look.
you know.
You've got
Click tile.
tile. You go to tile. We know what we're going to put in the bathroom floor in
Keep going.
the majority of our flips.
Yeah. It all comes down to systems, right? Having a clear, defined path. So Jeremy's not calling me in the middle of the night, like, what do I need for the next morning for tile? It's like, he already knows.
Everything's
It's all the same.
streamlined.
Streamlined.
Everything is streamlined. What we're going to do as far as finishes
With technology.
with the majority of our projects, there might be a one-off that would
Hey,
have
change this bathroom tile because of...
right a little change here and there, but you know our paint schemes are what they are.
Yeah.
Obviously, there could be a change to that, but we have a guideline of what we're doing, which makes my job a lot easier.
My best friend Mark started working for me. I mean, when I first moved to Jacksonville, I was like, boom, connected with Mark. I've been here for over a decade, and he was in healthcare, and I'm like, man, this guy is willing late at night till 1 a.m. to help me build my culture, help me build my systems, help me build my business, talk me through problems. I'm like, this guy has the heart. So it's like finding employees like that. Like, it's always a struggle. But I went to one of my best friends, and I hired him with 5 to 10% of construction experience, you know, versus his healthcare background. He kind of grew up flipping houses with his dad, but
That was a great experience talking with Mark. I have 2 guys on my team right now, Josh and Nick, and I can really see them in some of your guys, some of your team. And, you know, Mark's one of them who come on board. He likes what you're doing, not just a friend now, but part of the construction team.
you got to find those people who are committed at the core. You know what I'm
They see the
saying?
vision.
They see the vision. They're like,
And
the most exciting thing is I get to help build this thing
The
from
nice thing
scratch.
is they give input now. That's
yes.
right.
Yes. Let's throw that boy up here.
Yeah, Mark, so I followed Jesse for over 2 years. You know, I saw glimpses of you in videos with friends and things, I think even before he had the construction company. So it was pretty cool to see you actually come on and be part of the staff with Jay Lane. And I'd like to hear more about how that's going now and what you're doing. And it's cool to actually meet you virtually.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've known Jesse for probably at least a decade, I think, close to it. And yeah, before J Lane Construction. And so it's been cool having this journey with Jesse. And yeah, I think about a year ago, 9 months, I think, I decided to jump on and see if I could be a part of the company. And that was a whole career change for me, but it worked out. And so currently, I'm superintendent, trained to be project manager, and I think it's been really enjoyable for me. I was concerned, leaving healthcare, coming into construction, but it turns out that it's been something really enjoyable for me, and I think I'm thriving at it.
So let me ask you a question there. So you left what you were doing. You've known Jesse for a long time. I'm here to learn some of the secret sauce, some of the details of what it'll take me to go to that next level with my company, what things I could pick up on, carry away from here. So as a staff member, a team member, an employee, what gets you excited about J Lane every day and why you came here? What is it that I can do to help my employees and my team be happy and excited?
Yeah, so J Lane Construction it's a growing company. And so I think one of the things that really I enjoy is the fact that I get to help build it. And I think there's a core of me, even at my older jobs, both in ministry and in healthcare, there was an aspect that we were always growing, and there was always something I could add on to bring to the table. And that's very true with J Lane Construction. And so, right now we're in the trenches of growing pains, and there's constant need for increase in job capacity, bringing on new employees, and even the building of systems, which is probably the most stressful, in all of it, because we're trying to maintain jobs and do this day in, day out of construction, and all the different details there. But then there's also this system side of how can we make this scalable? And what does it look like to bring on a new employee, and what does it look like to bring the current employees up to par with these new systems? And so, really, I think it's if I had any input in that, it's making sure that your team is on track, with where the company is, right? If the company is experiencing those growing pains and is in an experience of, hey, we're growing and we're going to have to change and mold, and you need people who are able to jive with that. They're going to have to be able to be teachable. They're going to have to be able to be moldable. They have to be ebb and flow with job responsibilities and capacity, right? And so having employees and even yourself in a position where you're able to ebb and flow with that is going to be key for any company in this position, especially in this market where everything is the grind. Everything is the grind. There's not one section of construction currently that isn't just pulling teeth and really pushing to get things moving. So
okay, so if I heard you right, it's that you're part of the process. The employees need to buy into the grand vision, and then they need to be able to pivot along the way to help with those growing pains.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Nice. Yeah, and obviously, there's a lot of emotion that goes in there. There's a lot of feelings that go in there, and just because we're in construction doesn't mean that those things don't exist. And those come out in different ways. Different personalities are going to show those different emotions, and I think as in leadership, we're going to have to see what our strengths and weaknesses are, as well as our employees' strengths and weaknesses are when it comes to the crunch, right? And so it's not just, hey, do this and do that, but it's also looking beyond the business side and going, how is this person responding to the crunch? And how am I responding to the crunch? And is it working between us? Are we able to communicate effectively to achieve a similar goal? And I think that can be the kind of the bottom line of culture, that is the hardest to master, I think, in any company.
Well, I am glad to see that you guys have enhanced your relationship. You have a new part of your relationship, which is, company.
Right.
Beyond your personal long-term friendship, and that's neat and that's special, and that doesn't happen a lot every day when friends can work together. So that means that there is something special going on here. So, if this ever gets aired, Josh and Nick, you're my team. We're looking for the rest of the guys that are like this. in Phoenix, Arizona area because we're looking for the same thing.
Yeah, and so as far as I know, Jesse and I still like and love each other, so that's good news.
Dude, why did you buy a golden suit?
So the golden suit was a no-brainer for me. I'm pretty far along in this, but I need to know how to go to the next level and then take that pillar, which construction is lucrative. And if I want to move into the real estate part, I'm going to need to know
It's a mentorship.
those systems, right?
It's a community that we're building. We got Jose, we got Daniel. Trevor just bought a classic suit, and we talk to the classic suit owners. The best thing that I love about Mike is that he's willing to kind of like partner with me in this vision. Like he bought a golden suit, right? But he's here to give, not just take.
We were at lunch, and Aaron and you, I don't remember which one said, Mike's a giver. So
Yeah.
that's what I see in this. I've been around this. I've got a lot that I can give. I get in the chat and the
You're
Discord.
helping people sometimes
and
more than
I'm helping. If you're not
Yeah.
available, I'm helping, and
Boom.
then I go to you for part of this and
Yeah.
give to somebody else.
So if you want to suit up and grab a Suit Club NFT, you got to go to thesuitclub.io, and then you can have the OpenSea link there. It's got the Discord link, so you can join the Discord lobby, but you can't actually join the Suit Club until you make an offer on OpenSea for 1 Ethereum for a golden suit or 0.08 for a classic suit. The reason you have to make an offer, you can't just click buy now, is because OpenSea kind of delisted all of them after 6 months or whatever, 3 months I think it was. So anyway, just
Right.
make an offer.
And hey, if you're listening to this for the first time or you're not familiar with who Jesse is, I started watching him 4 or 5 years ago on YouTube. That's where you really want to start out at, is Jesse Lane. Look at the construction videos. Fast forward, we're here now. I am WDS Mike Martin on Instagram. You can get a feel for us and who we are, but your goal should be getting in the Suit Club.
Yeah, and you're pumping out great content too on your Instagram. I think you have a YouTube as well, WDS. Architecture?
I do. I have WDSarch.com and WDScom for commercial.com. That's where I have my design build companies, and I do have guys that are reaching out to me. We do internships, mentorships, and now we're going to the next level. I'm getting mentored here by this guy, Jesse.
That's cool.
And,
I mean, it takes a lot of humility to be like this 30-year-old guy
Right.
and this, older than me guy, so it's like, but I'm learning from you too. You're learning from me. So like you said, it's reciprocal. Yeah.
because I'm loving this trip, man. This has been exciting,
So
and I
cool.
was not, to be honest with you guys, I was not sure. I thought I'd come out here and Jesse would be busy, we wouldn't do anything. And man, from the moment I got here, has been nonstop. And
Drinks last night.
yeah, we're talking lunch. We're doing drinks last night. Lunch. We're going to do family dinner tonight. Met all of the crew.
Amazing.
Did a lot of talk. Looked at systems. Hung out in the office.
The inside scoop.
Right. So, and now it's like having the bat phone, guys. If you know what that is, just call up right up to the Bat Cave. Talk to Batman himself here. So,
Dude. Cheers, man. Hey, we'll see you in the Suit Club, okay? Like this video if you'd like, or dislike it if you didn't like it. And we'll see you there. Mike is willing to help. I'm willing to help. And it's been pretty fun. It's been a fun project.
awesome.